And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. On Saturday morning, we'll be within a few hours of an historic vote on the confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to serve as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. And as I'm taping this, we really don't know that much, except that the cloture vote got 3 out of the 4 swing votes to say yes. Now, Susan Collins was going to make an announcement on Friday afternoon if she said yes, and I'm guessing she will. Joe Manchin likely goes with her. If she says no, then Joe Manchin becomes the pivotal vote, and it has generally been assumed that he doesn't want to be the deciding vote, that he would put his vote in the yes column if the Republicans already had the votes, but if they didn't, he might be somewhere else. But you look at West Virginia and the overwhelming support, not only for President Trump, but for Judge Kavanaugh there. This poll suggests it's like 3-1. And with Joe Manchin up for re-election, it still might be the case that he would say yes, even if Collins says no. But it's looking better and better for Judge Kavanaugh all the time. But by the time you see this, we'll be darn close to knowing for sure. So like Will Rogers of old, when asked on his deathbed if he believed in God, said, "I'm too close to knowing for sure to get in the speculation business. We'll move on." This week, the jobs report came out, and unemployment at 3.7 is at the lowest point in half a century. The economy continues to tick up. And although the stock market this week flirted with 27,000, it was going to look like ending the week was going to be a 500-point drop from there or thereabouts. You got to wonder what all that is about. We'll talk about that next week, because we teased a little bit about talking about the most important thing coming up right now, and that is the national pastime and the baseball playoffs as we move into the postseason play and get revved up for the Fall Classic, which now ends somewhere around Thanksgiving. It's always interesting to take a look back. Baseball is an interesting game. It really is, in many respects, a mental game played out on a field. And for some reason, really, really smart people love baseball. I know in my own life, people like Dick Thornburg, an encyclopedia of baseball fact and knowledge, wanted at one point to be the commissioner of baseball. I can remember talking to Steve Forbes for hours, not about politics, but about baseball, and folks like David Eisenhower, and my old friend, a Democrat in there, Ben Chandler, whose grandfather was both a politician and the commissioner of baseball, the governor of Kentucky and baseball's commissioner who helped to break the color barrier. Ben and I have spent many, many hours talking about the national pastime. But one thing comes to mind. We talked about Ted Williams' last at-bat last week. I think about Roberto Clemente, my brother's boyhood hero, and his last regular season at-bat. He had a couple in the postseason where he hit a scorching line drive for a double off of John Matlock, his 3,000th hit, putting him into that really elite club. And unfortunately, he died not long thereafter. And they changed the rules about how you got elected to the Hall of Fame so that he not only got in more quickly, but also became the first Latino ever to join the Hall of Fame. And then, kind of on the other end of the equation, you have this year's Chris Davis with a 168 batting average on the strength of a 1-for-37 season finale performance, the lowest batting average for somebody that would qualify for the title in the history of the game. I think the Orioles really want to wash this season out after finishing 60 games behind. But there's always, as we are in this month, Mr. October. Reggie Jackson, a native Pennsylvanian by happenstance. And here's the trivia question for you. Who was Reggie Jackson's most famous high school, he wasn't a classmate, but schoolmate? Who was Reggie Jackson's most famous schoolmate? Stay tuned next week. We'll have the answer. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.